All right. Well, if you're like most people, you've probably seen some different posts here on social media about the Chief Audit Executive Forum. And you might be thinking to yourself, is this something that is right for me? Well, let's go through and talk about it a little bit here on this live. So, first off, if you are a chief audit executive, now that's a general term that just usually means that you are in charge of the internal audit department at your organization. Your title could be director, it could even be manager or vice president. But if you are the person who is responsible for internal audit in your organization, then tick the box, right? The first one is, yep, this is probably for you. In fact, if you are the second in command, so if you report to the chief audit executive in your organization and it's a larger organization, meaning that there's 15, 20, 30 more people on your team, then you're also probably a good candidate for the CAE forum. Now, if you want something that is consistent, and by consistent, I mean you get access to monthly calls with other chief audit executives, tick the box, right? Now, if you don't really care, if you're like, hey, I just want to show up maybe once a year at some free thing, then the Chief Audit Executive Forum is probably not for you. But I've found that most people in that position, they want a little extra help. And they don't want to have to wait 6 months or a year to be able to get help. Well, if you're one of those kind of people, then again, the CAE forum is for you. Okay. Now, what else? What are some of the other things to think about here? Well, if you're somebody that actually wants some mentorship and some coaching, so perhaps maybe you're newer in your role as a chief audit executive, or maybe you've just, maybe you've done the job for a while, but you've just moved to a new company. And that often comes with some challenges dealing with new people, establishing new relationships with your stakeholders there. And so again, I've found that a lot of people who switch jobs or are new in a chief audit executive position are usually a pretty good candidate for this as well. Now, how are you going to know? Well, the only way you're going to know is to actually schedule a call with me. And that's just because, again, we want to make sure that the right people are in the group. And so because of that, we schedule calls with people just to make sure that they're the right person to be able to come into the group. Because it's also confidential, which means that what's said in the group stays in the group. And so because of that, again, we just have to make sure that people are actually chief audit executives and that they're willing to abide by those confidentiality things that go along in the group. And I see Ahmed Mustafa, you longtime my friend as well, says hi here on the live. So one of the great things about doing the lives like this is I can actually see when people are posting when I am here live. So Ahmed, it's good to have you with me, my friend. So anyway, so again, is the Chief Audit Executive Forum for you? I don't know. And the only way that you're really going to know is to go check out the website, schedule your call, and let's just get on the phone for a little bit and talk about what it is that you're trying to accomplish and whether this would be a good thing for you. There's no obligation by coming on and having a call with me. I'm not going to try to convince you to come into it. In fact, if you don't think it's right for you, I don't want you in there. Okay. So I'm going to be completely honest about that. I'm not going to try to convince you or twist your arm to try to come into the group, because if you don't feel like it's 100% right fit for you, I don't want you in the group. Okay. Now let's talk about who is not a good fit, because again, that's probably just as important of a question as am I a good fit? Okay. So here's a couple of things. If you're just looking for things that are free, this is not for you. This is not free because we have professional executive coaches that are there to help you. And so because of that, it's not free. But again, the value that you get from this type of program, similar programs like this would be usually priced at about $20,000 a year, and that's in US dollars. This is nothing like that. In fact, it's something that's very affordable that anybody around the world can actually participate in. So ask yourself this: do you have training budget to be able to go to a conference or a seminar? If you do, you probably have budget for being in the Chief Audit Executive Forum. But as I said, if you're only looking for something that's free and you're like, no, damn it, I'm not going to pay for anything for my professional development, click off of this video right now because it's not going to be right for you. There is a fee associated with this because, again, in order to make it consistent, confidential, and really have a true community, it has to be run like a business. And so, again, that's why sometimes things like the CAE roundtables that the local chapters or professional service firms will run, that's one reason why they're not consistent. Because they're free and they're using it for practice development, honestly. Okay. So again, that may be if you fall into that and you say, nope, I'm not going to pay for anything. Well, okay. I'm guessing maybe you're the same kind of person that takes your partner to date night at Costco so that you can just get all the free samples and load up on that instead of going to a restaurant. Hey, there's people that do that. If that's the way you are, fine. But again, I've usually found that I get much more value from things that I actually pay for. And so that's the case here. Another thing, if you are a person who just wants to be heard, you're the person that likes to come in and talk about how great you are and puff yourself up and act like that gorilla that's kind of doing one of these things. Oh, look at how great we're doing. It might not be for you either. And again, it's not that we don't want you to share what's going on and what you're doing good, but it's not a place for egos. Okay, you check those at the door because we actually talk about some things that are sensitive, some things that are confidential, and it's really about helping you become the best that you can be. It's not about showing off. It's not about ego. So again, if you're one of those people that's been in the profession a long time and you think you just want to tell people what to do, probably not for you either. So just, again, click off the video and we'll see you later. I wish you well, but that's not the space for that. Now, I also want to talk just for a minute here too, because with this program as well, it is different than anything else that is out there. There is an executive coaching piece to it, and we really care about you as a human being. We want to help you do your day job better, but we also realize and are trained in things like psychology and coaching to realize that, a lot of times your personal life carries over into your professional life. And sometimes there's things that are going on in your personal life that you just need to talk about. And so, again, we are here to actually help the whole person. And so sometimes, again, we get into topics that, are about your own personal development or about issues that you're particularly having with some of your particular staff members. Now, because of that, some of those things are sensitive in a group setting. That's another reason why we have one-on-one coaching from executive coaches in this program. Now, again, one-on-one executive coaching, if you were to do that, it would cost you $40,000 to $50,000 a year. How do I know that? Because I do this for a living. That's what people pay for executive coaching. But as I told you to begin with, it's nothing like that in this particular program because the idea is we want to help chief audit executives. That's the real reason. But obviously, if you don't have any skin in the game, you're probably not going to take it seriously, which is another reason why there actually is an investment that goes along with that. Okay, so hopefully, again, that answers some of the questions that you might have. Hey, is the Chief Audit Executive Forum for me? I don't know. The only way you're going to know, the only way I'm going to know is if you actually schedule an appointment and we talk about it. Okay, and the reason why I'm shooting this video now, again, is we only let people into the group once or twice a year, and this happens to be one of the times when we are doing it. So again, make sure to schedule your appointment this week. Click on the link, find a time in the next week or two that actually works for your calendar and works for my calendar, and we'll get on the phone and talk about it. And if it's something that is right for you, then I want you in. If it's not completely right for you, then I'll wish you well and we'll move on. No arm twisting, because again, it really should only be people who really want to be there. But as I tell you, check out the link, go to the website. You'll see some of the testimonials from people that are in this group. And I promise you, it is nothing like anything that is out there. And when you join, you are going to see a rapid transformation in your abilities to lead an internal audit department, especially in these times that we're living in. In fact, another reason why I'm telling you right now to try to get in is on the May call that we're doing, we're actually going to be talking about some of the new risks that have come up in a remote or work from home environment that most organizations aren't even considering. And so again, I know a lot of times in the industry, we talk about, I want to see the risks that are coming on over the horizon. Well, guess what? If you're a member of the forum, you actually get an opportunity to find out what some of those risks are long before everyone else does, which is going to be a great benefit for you in your career, because that means that you are going to start to be seen as a trusted advisor, because you're going to know some things probably before many of the executives in your organization do as well. So with that, I look forward to talking to you, and I'll catch you on the next video. See ya.